Alright, welcome back. I'm going to get started by cutting off this top panel. I'm going to go ahead and just cut it off and then make me a pattern and try to bend that thing out. And then I'll weld this piece in. And while I'm at it, I want to go ahead and get my door hinges mounted, because right now it's just sitting here. I need to go ahead and get my hinges mounted, get that done. Get this side all completely finished up. I did get this welded up. I got one little hole here I need to finish and a couple little spots to grind, but other than that, it's in there. So let me get started on this and I'll be back with you in a little bit. All right, I got it cut off. See how bad it really is. It's rotted out pretty bad. It's really thin and all bent up. That's why I decided I'm going to make it. So I'll go ahead and get started making a pattern. I'll make a pattern out of paper first, wrap it around it. I'll show you how I do it. But let's get started on that pattern. All right, I had thought about doing this in two pieces, doing this half and then this half and putting it together. But the more I look at it, I think I can do this in one piece. So I'll just make a pattern here and I'll tape, because my paper's not long enough, so I'll just tape it together. But what I do is I just fold the paper over and I mark out where my beads are going to go. I mark each end and then I'll use the straight line and mark it out with the ruler. And what I did is I bent this back out to where it should be, so when the paper goes around it, you get a better idea, because with it sunk in and smashed and stuff, it doesn't, you're not going to get a true pattern. So let me finish the other half of this pattern and mark out my lines, and then we'll start cutting on some metal. We'll mark it out on metal. All right, I got my lines laid out. This line is where the rain guard goes. But this side where the roof panel actually went in, instead of making this piece back in it, what I'm going to do is just cut this off. I'll weld that straight in at the roof once I get it to the right shape, because I'm going to have that whole back end flat. I'm not going to use a leather top, so I don't really need that channel. So yeah, I just have to run this channel, and then this down here will be our bends. And I just left it long because I made it like the other one, but I probably will not leave this. This here is just this place here. This is going to get cut out, and it'll be that spot right here where this goes, where the brace goes. But that's pretty much all I do, is just lay it out. All right, I'm gonna get it marked out on some paper. I'll be back, or on some metal rather, and I'll be back with you. All right, I got it laid out on the metal. I actually just traced it out, is all I did. I put my magnets on here to hold the paper still and just traced it out and put marks there and over here and over here, where this will have to run through the bead roller, and this side I'll have to bend right here. So let me finish marking these lines out, and I'll be back to you, and we'll go ahead and get that metal cut out. All right, I got it cut out, but I'm gonna have to take the hammer and dolly and straighten out some of these edges where my cutter's bending a little bit, and then take the grinder and take the edges off. But this is what we're gonna start with. I still got to cut this out. no big deal. I'll use that. I'll just use some tin snips for that. And then we'll run it through the, I got to figure out if I'm going to use the English wheel first. I think it'll be easier if I make my bends first and then run it through the English wheel. I believe that's what I'm going to do. But it's a start anyway. Alright, we'll be back in a little bit. Alright, I made one piece to begin with, but it didn't work out. I ended up having to cut it and then make this piece fit and then reattach it to this piece. I'm going to have a lot of hammer and dolly work. I messed it up pretty good. I tried some stuff I probably shouldn't have with that English wheel, and I messed that piece up, but I straightened it back out for the most part. I think it's going to work out once I get it all welded in solid. I have to push this back out because it's warped a little bit, but I'll push this back out, weld it all up solid. And the front piece, it just fell off. I just had it sitting up there, so. And that's because I still have to make the bead on the back of this piece. Is why I made that bead back there. I just have to make this one. And then I can weld this back in, weld it in solid, and I'll be done with this side. Well, no, I still have to finish this panel here. It just seems like this is a lot of work, a whole lot of work. It takes a lot of time. And we've had 4 straight days of rain, and as you can see, I don't really work in a garage. I work in a barn pretty much. No concrete floors, and it gets wet in here. And I do not want to get electrocuted. So anyway, it's coming, and I'll show you more. All right, I got this piece tacked in good. It's still going to need some more welding, but I got it all pulled in where it needs to be, nice and flush. Got that all done. I got this piece cut to fit right here. I'm getting ready to tack that in, and then we just have a whole lot of welding and grinding, and probably some hammer and dolly work after I get this all welded and ground down. Well, because we're going to want a gradual, you know, when it goes together. So I want to make sure I get that right. That's probably going to take me a lot of time with the hammer and dolly. Same way here. I want you to not be able to see this is even here when I'm done. I have a piece of copper. That's what these are for. I put that piece of copper, bend it to the right shape, and just clamp it in there so we can fill that gap. I'd rather you have a wider gap than too close, because you get a better weld. You can fill that in and be nice and strong right there. And then we just got to finish welding it out solid. So let me get on that, and we'll be back to you in just a few minutes. All right, folks, I think we're finished for this video. We did get a lot accomplished. We got this panel made, and like I said, I had to cut it and make this piece separately. We got this welded in. It's still got a lot of work to do. We got a lot of grinding, a lot of cleaning up to do. I want to apologize for we had a couple of complaints about me showing my back too much. So in this video, I tried my best to not do that and explain things a little better by talking directly to you. I'm new to this. I do the best I can, but I'm hoping to get better. That's all I can say.
We set up this channel just so, because I wanted to show off what Dad could do. I told him for years that you guys would enjoy seeing what he does on his spare time. And
I've built a lot of things over the years, many different things, not just cars, all kinds of stuff. I like building toys. I like messing with wood too. I've built dressers and all kinds of stuff. I just love building things. It's just something about when you're finished, you look at it and say, hey, I did that. That's cool, you know? So, and I take pride in what I do, and that makes a big difference. You gotta have the drive to do it, and don't be afraid of it. Like I said, I've never built a door. I've never built, you know, a lot of this stuff. I just had a thought in my mind, and I wanted to do it, and I was going to do it, so I did.
I mean, there's one of the projects that Dad's going to do whenever further down the road, of course. He's going to bring out his truck that him and my brother built on their spare time whenever they're after work. Every single day they would stop and work on it. That's that 54 Ford.
Yeah, it's a mixture. It's a 54, 55, 53, 56.
Can't forget the 86.
Yeah, an 86. Yeah, I mean, it's a Johnny Cash truck for sure. But yeah, that's further down the road. But we just got so much we got to do. But I want to get this thing done. I've always loved the old Fords. Well, I love all old cars, but the Model A was just something about it I've always loved. I've always wanted one. And now I'm gonna own one. I'm just gonna build it. So in our next video, what we're gonna try to I want to build. This door is just hanging here. I need to get it mounted solid permanently. We gotta drill our hinges and all that and get it mounted solid.
Remove this one hinge.
Yeah.
So we can. The bead's got to come up to the cowl, which we'll have to make a whole new.
Yeah, we're gonna.
Piece for that.
We were kicking it around. I think what we're going to do is on the cowl, we're going to turn it into a 31. We're going to make the panels to the sides and the top, and we're going to actually make that into.
Try to show you guys.
See, on a 31, the cowl comes all the way out to here, all the way out to the edge, and then your bead starts right where this one leaves off and comes down through one small one, and then the big one comes out just a little ways, and then it'll curve back around and come up in here. That's going to be difficult, I'm sure, but I want to try. I think I'm going to do that. And like I said, drill my hinges, get the door mounted the way it should be, because it's just hanging here. I left the gaps big so I could adjust it whichever way I needed to.
I'm really excited about the idea that Dad had for the roof. He wants to make it with that visor that comes down here, like those old flat caps that those guys used to wear.
Yeah, for sure. We're going to put a visor, and I've decided to, for the roof, I only put a small bead down through here, because what I'm going to do is use a piece of flat sheet metal all the way across, but we're going to put 3 beads in it, 1 in the middle and 2 on the outsides, and we're going to fade them. We're going to fade them. Once we get up to the front, we're going to fade them to 0. So I think that'll look pretty cool if we do that. And that's my ideas anyways. And once we get to a point to get started on that other side, I mean, you can look at the door. It's pretty much gone. The whole bottom's gone, the inside's gone. I mean, there's a frame and everything there to work with. Maybe I can just make another door skin for that whole side over there, and then or start over and make another door. I'm not sure yet.
It's up to you guys. If you guys wanted to see a whole new door made, and
because I did not video the door. I just started out here before he got me the camera, and before we started messing with this thing. I just yeah, so I didn't videotape that.
Yeah, so if you guys want to see a whole new door made with each step, then just comment down below and we'll get to it.
I know we got one fellow wants us to show the whole back door. That's another thing. If I was to show you that whole back door, you'd have 9 days of video on one door. I mean, we take 4 hours to get 15 minutes of video. It's a door. That door was time consuming. It was difficult because I've never done it, but now that I know some of my tricks, I can probably do it a little better, a little faster. But that back door is going to take a lot of time. I will do my best to show as much as possible, but maybe just little clips of what I did and while I'm doing it. Maybe for one door frame, one door side on the inside for the frame, the bottom and the top, things like that. I'm not going to be repetitive.
You guys just got to think though. Each little bend and nook and cranny, weld, everything he does is everything by hand. I mean,
it takes time.
Each bead, and you gotta also have to take this through the English wheel 4 or 5 times to get it the shape it needs to be. It's not. You guys see a little bit of what's done. He's out here for hours and hours and hours and hours, bending metal.
Yeah, and it takes a lot of time. It really does. But I will do my best to explain. We'll cut out little pieces, and I'll do my best to explain how to do it. And then you take my ideas and add them with yours, and you might come up with something better.
But let me get around the front of the camera. Thank you guys for watching.
and we are happy with everything that you got. The subscribers keep coming every day, and I'm happy about that. And the views are out of this world. You guys are really, and a lot of good feedback. And I appreciate the telling me about me showing my backside too much. I agree with you. I watch the videos. I'd be bored in about 2 seconds and turn my own off. but you know, hey, we live and learn. That's all we can do. We get better at it.
So we'll catch you guys in the next one.
Have a great one.